All right, guys, welcome to the next module of the art of cinematography. Right now, we're going to talk about dynamic light. So what exactly is dynamic light? Dynamic light is light that has, well, dynamic aspects to it. So typically this is light that is either moving or is creating some kind of effect. And again, so for me, I love using dynamic light in music videos. The other times I'm using it is really to be very intentional, be that maybe a documentary, it might even be a commercial or a short film. I can still use this, right? But again, it's being intentional. So one of the great things about having new LEDs that I talked about, in the very beginning with you guys was effects. So as you can see here, we've got some different effects modes. So this is creating dynamic light. So we've got camera flash, we've got storm, we've got bad bulb, we've got TV. And so with bad TV, like this is a great scenario right here. Again, for instance, this is way too bright. I'd turn down the power output on this guy. And we can go ahead and do that as well. Bring this down more so it's a bit more realistic here for us and not as so killing and bright on our subject. Bam. But again, just having this bad TV, this is a great example of something I would personally maybe utilize if I was shooting a short film or a music video and I wanted this kind of effect of them watching TV. Maybe David's got a remote in his hand and he's clicking the channels, right? So we've got this bad TV going on. So it helps us create a new and just more realistic environment, but an interesting and captivating one as well. So again, utilizing a strobe or some kind of thunderstorm effect, right? So again, you can see how just in some narrative work, we've already got the lightning storm going on, right? We add some thunder sound effects into this in the background, and immediately we've got this sold idea to our audience that there's a thunderstorm going on just right outside of frame. So again, there's a lot of cool ways you can utilize effects and different variations of dynamic light to enhance your scene or make it more interesting and captivating. Now I'm going to pull the tube light down here because this is really, these tube lights, not just Godox's TL60 tube lights, Nanelite has some tube lights. There's also Quasars, there's Astera tube lights, there's lots of different options out there. Now Asteras and Quasars are very expensive in cost comparison to Godox and Nanelite. They are better lights, if we're being honest here, but they are quite significantly more expensive and they are a lot harder to operate. I really love the Godox TL60 tube lights and I like the Nanelite lights as well, but I'm a big fan of these Godox 60 tube lights because they are not 4-foot tubes. Sometimes I find with the 4-foot tubes, it's just a bit too long. It really only works for music videos in my opinion. But this is a perfect little length. I've actually got some other ones I'm gonna grab really quick to show you guys. And so these are Pavo 6C tube lights. These are by Nanelite. These are really great lights as well, and you can do different effects with these also. The only thing with these are they're a lot smaller. So these are typically lights that I'll try to utilize as practicals actually. So I will hide these further in backgrounds and scenes just to make it look like a practical light. I've actually done it quite a few times in some different music videos. I did it with my OC Grimm for a music video. I did it recently with a Josh Gluck music video where we hid those and used Aperture BC, the B7C light bulbs, and put those all over the scene to act as practical lights. And really we just use those to light the entire house for a one-take music video. Really, really cool project. But again, that's the power of using lights with effects and more importantly, dynamic light. So just showcasing you again, this tube light here. I love it again because it's very user-friendly, intuitive, cost-effective. And again, I can jump into modes. So here, I can adjust hue and give some different color for us here. And again, we're gonna get into color next, which is really fun to talk about. But again, looking at different modes. So I've got candlelight, I've got campfire. So again, if we're trying to make it seem like our subject is at a campfire location, right? So hanging out with some buddies, he's got a campfire just below him, getting warmed up. You hear the crackling of the fire, all that good stuff, right? So again, just utilizing this, we can create a lot of different cool looks. So we've got cop car. I've used this in plenty of videos. I actually used this in a video with David where David was a cop trying to pull me over. But I got away, kind of. He got me in the end. But again, guys, I don't want to keep rambling and talking too much about it here, but I think you understand dynamic light, it is super powerful and super useful. I use it a lot in music videos, again, because it creates a lot of interest and intrigue. And oftentimes, music videos have a lot of high energy, whether it be hip hop or rock electronic, even pop, right? There's typically a lot of energy. And so you can utilize these different effects to really complement that energy and environment. Again, not just utilizing different effects, but you can create movement, right? So just by having this coming off and on, we have a more interesting and unique image than if it was just flat, right? However, that's a very specific look, right? Having that light constantly going back and forth. So if you're doing an interview and it's something like I don't know, ESPN, 30 for 30 or something like that, a sports documentary, you probably don't want some dynamic light wishing and washing across the whole time. So again, guys, it's about being intentional, thinking through why we're doing this. What does this actually do for our subject? What does this do for the scene and the story we're trying to tell? But that's just a little bit right there on dynamic light, what exactly it is, how you can utilize it, and some different styles of filmmaking and cinematography that it's very useful for. Now again, moving on from here, we're gonna jump into color. So without further ado, let's take it to the next module.